Hi guys, Darth Deuces here, and finally I am making my top 10 action figures of 2019 video. I know it's late, I apologize for that, but better late than never. I wanted to share my top 10 figures of the year. My criteria is for this pretty simple. It has to have come out in 2019 or around 2019. If it was like a late 2018 release, I'll allow it. I have to have bought it, and obviously I have to have liked it, and that's about it. I'm not very strict on stuff. This isn't the best figures of 2019 objectively or anything like this. This is just my list of my top favorite figures that I got that was released in 2019. And in front of you, which you can't see in the whole frame because I got a bunch of figures here, these are not the top 10. I just wanted to talk about, these are kind of all honorable mentions. I think there's so much good stuff. Like I can't even begin to describe like how good of a year 2019 was for figures. Transformers was absolutely insanely good. Even though Transformers is like my close second, like Star Wars is my first favorite fandom, but Transformers is a really close second. And for whatever reason, I was never really super into the lines to collect for the most part. I get a couple figures here and there, but I wouldn't really jump into any of the lines. Well, I fully jumped into Studio Series and the Siege lines this year. I wasn't planning on getting into Siege, but it happened because those figures are just so good, man. This list could have been all Transformers. I'm going to be honest, could have been all Transformers. There's so many good ones this year. And just a lot of other really great stuff. I don't have everything, like all these you can consider honorable mentions, but there would be so many other honorable mentions. Like there's so many figures that I just can't fit onto this video that I want to talk about, but I just can't because there's so many good ones. There's so many good Black Series. Marvel Legends was insane this year as well, with a ton of different figures, a lot of great ones. I tried to go a bit lighter on those this year with the limited success. Even McFarlane Toys put out some stuff that I liked, and we're going to talk about those ones as well. But I'll try not to take too long with these, but I'll just zoom out here so you can get a better look at everything in the picture here. Like I said, I don't have everything I got this year on, obviously. Here there's so many Transformers here I don't have here. Like the Siege Seekers are awesome, the Siege Soundwave's cool, the Siege Impactor is great, and Springer's pretty good, you know. Again, like my list could have been like almost half of the list could have been all Optimus Primes. I limited myself to only a couple, but the other two are there. But yeah, so let's talk about stuff. I guess we'll talk about the Marvel Legends here I have on the side so I can just move them out of the way here quickly. But Marvel Legends was great. I actually don't have a single Marvel Legends on my list though, because while a bunch of them were really good, I just saw stuff I got this year I just liked a lot more. But there's a lot of great stuff. The Legendary Riders Captain America I really like, and I'm not a huge Captain America fan, but that World War II look, it's my favorite look for him. The figure's really great. The bike's a good reuse of that Ghost Rider bike. I really like this set. It's a really good one. Yeah, man. You're a Cap fan, you like the World War II looking stuff, recommend that one for sure. Just gonna move him out of the way because he is pretty big and taking up a lot of space. And some other stuff. I got more Marvel Legends than this. These are just the ones I'm going to show. The MCU Mysterio was close to making the list. It's a great figure, great sculpt, great paint. Like the character, love the MCU design. If it came with effect parts, it probably would have made the list, but still really great. I really like that one. The Iron Patriot figure is really great. Got a lot of guns, bulky, like the paint apps on it. Articulation's alright. It's a great War Machine. Like when I get War Machine figures, I want a bunch of large guns and missile pods and all that stuff on them, and this one really delivers the large guns on the wrists and the shoulders and everything. I really like that. And Silver Samurai, he might have been my favorite comic book Marvel Legends figure of the year. I don't know why. I'm not super familiar with the character. It's just a really great figure that they did. I think it's a completely new sculpt on Hasbro's part, which is a bit more rare because they do a lot of reuse. But a completely new sculpt for a comic book character. The sculpt itself is fantastic. The paint apps are really good. I love the silver paint they used on it. Comes with the two swords. Articulation's really good. He's got all the right posing for sword poses. It's a fantastic figure. That was really close to making my top 10. Might be like my number 11, not gonna lie. And then over here, surprising figures this year are actually the Toy Box figures. They're not Toy Box, sorry, that's the previous thing. Galaxy of Adventures figures. They're about 5 inches, so it's on Black Series. They're in that stylized look, but they got a lot of great articulation for the cheaper price that they are. They look really cool if you like the design, which I do. The play features that they incorporate in the figures don't compromise the overall look or articulation of the figure. They're really great. I got the Kylo Ren here, and I also got the Darth Vader, and they're both really nice figures, man. If you're a fan of the look of them, I'd recommend picking them up. So those ones are cool. I don't usually pick up the more basic lines, and I don't plan to go full in on those, but there's a Boba Fett coming out later this year in 2020. So, and in terms of Gunpla, I didn't build that much that came out in 2019. I built a few of the high grades, a good chunk of the real grades, and one master grade. Master grade's all right. It's good, but the wrist, it's the MG Alex. My wrist broke on that one. Apparently, that's notorious for doing that. I didn't know when I was building it, so mine broke and it's glued in place now, which makes me kind of salty about that kit. But here I just have the HG Gundam Sandrock. It's probably the best HG that was released this year that I actually got, so I like this one. Great articulation. I like the swords. I don't know anything about the Gundam Sandrock, but it's cool looking and it has cool swords and it has great articulation. So, and it's really solid. Doesn't fall apart or anything like that. I also got the real grade Crossbones. I want to throw out that one too, or not throw it out, but throw out that name. That one's a really great kit as well. Black Series, I only have one figure on here as like honorable mention just to talk about the line. It's the Heavy Infantry Mandalorian, which is a fantastic figure that came out at the later end of the year. That I didn't get until a few days ago, but it's really great, fantastic figure. Also that new Deluxe Emperor Palpatine, another really good figure. But if you want to know more about my thoughts on the Black Series this year, I have top 10 Black Series figures video. That is my previous video, so go check that one out if you want a more in-depth talk of the Black Series and my favorites of that year. They do have a presence on my top 10 list. You can probably guess which one it is if you watch that video, but Heavy Infantry Mandalorian is really cool. I just want to put him in the video, talk about him again a little more. I don't know if I'll review him or anything like that, but he's really cool. Alright, and so trying to chug us along through here. Transformers, like I said, were absolutely insanely good this year. Like I said, there's a ton of Optimus Primes released this year. I got 4 different Optimus Prime figures this year. That's insane for me anyways. And the Siege Voyager, really great. I have the Earthrise one on pre-order, which also looks really good, but the Siege one is also a fantastic figure. Has a little bit of kibble, but aside from that, really great. That that Deluxe Ratchet is probably, I only picked up him in Impactor when it comes to Deluxes, but he's my favorite Deluxe. I really like Ratchet as a character. The Ironhide mold's really good, and that just is even better with the Ratchet, which they even did some slight remolds, like in the shoulders and I think some other bits to make him look a bit more different, differentiate from Ironhide, so that's really great. I really like him. Reaching over here, the Studio Series Soundwaves, probably my favorite Studio Series Deluxe of the year. Absolutely fantastic with some beautiful silver paint. Great head sculpt and sculpt in general. Articulation's good. He comes with Laserbeak, which you can perch on his arm, which is awesome. And his transformation's decent. And both modes are really solid. It's a fantastic figure. Another really close contender for top 10 of the year. Just looks fantastic. You got him standing there looking sinister with Laserbeak on his arm. It looks so cool. And I really like the design for Soundwave. I'm not going to lie. I do really like it. Alright, just jump cutting real quick just so I can clear out the space a little bit here. Just so I can talk some more stuff. Here, Mezco's Clown Prince of Crime Joker is a really great figure. Didn't quite make my top 10 just because it's not my favorite look for Joker. It's a really cool look for Joker. I really do dig it. But I like the accessories. The accessories are really cool. I love he comes with the cane and he has the machine gun and the gunfire effects, the knives and stuff. Really cool. And I do like this more punk look, I suppose. But at the end of the day, it's not anything too crazy amazing. So he's just an honorable mention. Just wanted to knock him out there. Mezco definitely has a good presence on my list. So if you're a Mezco fan, don't worry about that. Dark of the Moon, Megatron, Leader Class. Really great. I really think it's my favorite Megatron design from the films. And I think they did a really good job with the figure. It's articulated pretty well. Detail and paint is really great. I love the soft goods cloak. It looks really good, and the hood doesn't look super goofy. It actually sits on his head pretty well. The head sculpt itself's great. I love that he comes with Igor. Viocomo is just alright, but it's a great figure. Just wasn't as good as other Transformers that came out this year. Same with the Dark of the Moon Leader Class Optimus back here. I'll move Siege Optimus out of the way. He's also fantastic. He was close to be making my list, but there's a couple shortcomings with the figure, like some missing paint apps on mainly the weapons in the trailer, as well as hollow pieces on his Jetwing, jetpack stuff, which doesn't bother me too much, but it is noticeable. But it's a fantastic Optimus figure. The repainting of the older, well not older, but the Voyager, came out the same year. Looks great, articulates really well, looks really good. Great truck mode. I love it. I do still really like the trailer. I love that the trailer turns into the armory ring and the Jetwing. He comes with a bunch of accessories with the shield, the axe, and the sword, and the gun, and these guns, which is fantastic. It's a really awesome figure. It just is missing some things to really put it in my top 10. And I'm making this video way too long, so I gotta keep moving here. But the last thing I want to talk about is the McFarlane Toys' offerings this year, which was starting into the Mortal Kombat 11 figures, and the Doom figure that they did, which isn't really in the frame too well. There we go. I really like these figures a lot. I think there's people who are like 50-50, like there's people who are like me who really like these figures, and then there's other people who absolutely despise them. I can kind of get some of the hate for the Doom figure, but the Mortal Kombat ones I think are really great. The articulation, is revolutionary for McFarlane Toys figures. You got double hinges at the knees, the elbows, wrists are on swivel hinges, and neck articulation too great, and torso articulation too great. But they got butterfly joints. This Scorpion is really awesome. I love it. He comes with the swords and his spear. Sub-Zero is also really awesome. Comes with the ice axe and the skull with the spine. The face looks really good on this one. These guys are both fantastic. And then putting them off to the side here. The Doom figure I really like. I know people don't like it because the articulation really isn't fantastic on this one. He still has all the points of articulation he should have. Because of the design and the way they designed the figure, it doesn't get the best range of motion. But I still really love this figure. I've wanted a Doom Slayer figure since I played the 2016 game. And this is from his Eternal look, but it's also awesome because it looks really cool. The paint apps are fantastic. The sculpt is awesome. He doesn't come with a ton of accessories. He's got the arm blade here, and he's got the super shotgun. Those are the main accessories he needs, though. It would have been nice to come with some more guns, but it is what it is. Really, the only thing they could have done is improve the articulation, which is the same song we've been saying with McFarlane for a long time, but it's still not bad. You can still pose him. People who think he's a statue, I just don't agree with you. You can definitely still pose him. You just can't get all the poses you'd like at him, but he looks fantastic. He's a hefty, a big, thick chunk of plastic, and it's just super satisfying to pose him around. Okay, that doesn't spell well with the figure, but just cool to pose him around, play around with him, He's just a great figure that I'm happy to have in my video game sort of collection of figures. Anyways, I've rambled on enough about other figures and toys and all that. Let's get to the actual top 10. All right, now we are actually getting to the top 10. Starting off my top 10 at the Mezco Toys 112 Collective Iron Man figure. I think this might have actually been released in 2018, but later in the year, and I didn't see it stock around here till into January, or not January, but 2019. So I'm considering this a 2019 release. It might not be, but this is one of my cheat figures, I suppose. But I actually, on my Instagram, when I posted that this was a honorable mention, a runner-up figure, but I changed my mind. I do think this is one of my top 10 figures of the year. Mezco did a really great job with this Iron Man figure. It's my favorite Iron Man in my collection. It's just really great. He's got heft to him because he's got die-cast metal in certain parts, which feels good, looks good. The paint app, the candy red with the shiny yellowish gold looks really great. I love the modernization of the classic armor. Articulation's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's super fantastic. It's not insane, but it's good. You can get some good poses out of him. The LED is really cool. I don't know if I can. Oh, no, I can. Cool. turn the LED on there, and he's got a really great arc reactor LED. It looks really good. Ton of accessories. One of my favorites is definitely the little wrist rockets. They look fantastic, but he comes with repulsor effects, missile effects. You can remove the faceplate, which is magnetized, and you can get that Tony Stark face, which is all right. Looks pretty cool. Just a really great all around figure. Really do like this one. So he is number 10. At number 9, you're going to see the first of many Transformers on this list. That's just the reality of it. And that's the Leader Class Shockwave, or I guess Voyager with accessories. Literally my only gripe with this figure is that it was released as a Leader Class with some accessories I didn't really need. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind the armor up feature, and I like the little drone surfboard thingy that he comes with, that you can make and he comes with. And it does make the vehicle mode feel a little more complete, but this could have been released as a Voyager. It might have been higher on my list because of it. But even so, it's a fantastic figure. It's one of the best, I'd say, one of the best Shockwaves that Hasbro has ever produced. It's just fantastic. It looks fantastic. I like the rubber hose. He's got great articulation. You know, you can really pose him around. Get some great poses going on him. He has like some of the best light piping I've ever seen on a Transformer. Like barely any light can shine to that, and it still looks really good. Like I'm not directly shining a light into his head there. You can see the difference. It's just the normal light in the room that's illuminating his eye. That's insane. It's just an awesome figure. Not much else to say. You want a Shockwave, get this one. And you can probably even get them on sale now, so it's even more worth it. At number 8 is my one Black Series figure on this list, and it is my top 10 of my top 10 Black Series figures of the year. That's spoiler alert. It is The Mandalorian. I love the show, I love the character, and I love the character design, even though this is a look for him that he only sports in total of like half in the first episode. It's a really great figure, great articulation, experimenting a little bit with butterfly joints built into the torso, which is cool. Good accessories, you can store his accessories on him. Unfortunately, not easy to really get your hands on now, but it's a great figure. I really like this one a lot. And at number 7, another Mezco figure. It is the Mezco Sovereign Knight Batman. This is an excellent Batman figure. I think it's one of the best Batman figures out there. It's really great. As far as I know, you can still get it with relative ease at retail price, as far as I know. But it's great articulation. The soft good outfit works really well and meshes well with the plastic parts of the costume. The cape is really nice. I do wish it was wired, but I do also like the sort of how it drapes down. And I like how it's easy to fold it behind his back and easy to fold it over his back or over his shoulders. A bunch of hands. Comes with 4 interchangeable heads, which is insane. This head, the Short Ears head, Battle Damage head, and a Bruce Wayne head. That is awesome. That covers like so many bases for different looks and heads for him, which is great. Comes with a ton of batarangs, different gadgets, articulation's good. You know, it's an overall super solid figure from Mezco. And I'd say it's Mezco's best Batman, but don't quote me on that. And at number 6, I have the Transformers Studio Series Voyager class Bumblebee Optimus Prime. And that's a lot to say, but it's a really great figure. It was a bit tough to pick between this one and the Dark Moon Leader, just because I really like the accessories that one comes with. But at the end of the day, looking at the two and looking at the price point, as long as you can get this guy for retail, it's which one did I feel was my better bang for my buck, and which one would I pick up over the other if I saw the two in the store. And I would go for this one over the Dark Moon Leader class, because I just think this one's way more worth the money than that other one, as much as I like it. And it's a great figure. I love the Bumblebee Optimus design. It's a great realistic look of the G1 design. The figure's really good. He's a bit accessory light, but he only had his gun in the movie anyways, so that doesn't bother me. And he does have the gun, looks really good, and you can store it on his back, which is cool. Like, you know, he just looks good. He's a decent sized Voyager. He poses pretty well, with some great articulation. Like, pretty damn good, honestly. The transformation is really good, and the vehicle mode is a fantastic looking box cab truck. So, I don't know, it's just a really great figure, man. It looks really good. You just look at your Studio Series shelf or whatever, Transformers shelf in general, and this guy really pops. It's one of my favorite Optimus figures. It's really good. My only real complaint with it is the leg assembly is a little flimsy. And the way things tab in there is a little flimsy, but that's a pretty minor gripe for a pretty awesome figure. Next figure is a figure I actually wasn't sure I was going to get or not, but it ended up going on sale for a great price on Amazon. I ended up saving like $40 off retail price on this guy, so for the price I paid, 100% worth it. But even at full price, I'd say it's pretty worth it. And it is the Hyper Real Black Series Darth Vader. This is the 8-inch line of figures they're starting to do, where it's kind of like your cheap man's Hot Toys or Sideshow figures, which is kind of a relatively accurate way to describe it. But it is a fantastic figure. It has this really nice sort of, not leather, but like rubbery sort of material to simulate the leather suit. And then it's really durable. I was worried this might be flimsy and prone to maybe breaking down, and maybe it will over a while, but at least right now it seems really solid. It's got the metal exoskeleton. You can really get this guy in some fantastic poses, and I love kind of just the way, like in the boot, how like you pose the boot and you don't see a joint at all. It's very fluid and realistic in that regard, which I absolutely love. I love the overall sculpt and paint of this guy. The sculpt looks great. I love the helmet sculpt. I think the helmet sculpt looks really good. I like the glossy parts of the armor, and then contrasted with the more matte parts of the normal parts of the suit. The soft goods are really nice on the torso and the cape. Soft goods are also really nice. You can get it flowing over his back well and over him really well. Accessories are decent. He comes with a plethora of different hands, which is great. Lightsaber, which is a little warped out of the packaging, but aside from that, pretty cool. And a nice looking base, as well as an effect part for when he's blocking Han Solo's blaster shots. It's really good, man. You know, you can really pose this guy up. I'm just kind of, it's one figure you kind of got to get used to posing, I suppose. But you can get some pretty cool dynamic stuff out of him. And he looks really cool, man. I really like this one. Darth Vader is my favorite Star Wars character, and I'd say this might be my favorite Darth Vader figure in my collection. It's really, really nice. Coming in at number 4 is my only Gunpla on my list, and it is the Real Grade New Gundam. This is a fantastic kit. It might be my favorite kit I've built, or it's really damn close. This thing is near goddamn perfection. Like, it's so good, man. You know, proportions are great, sculpt is great, the build was good and fun and not super hard. Super solid, man. There are not many kits that I keep on my desk and just want to mess with and pose around very much, because, you know, I might have the odd part fall off. This guy, aside from maybe the shield, you know, parts aren't falling off this. You can pose him around, you can get him in different positions pretty easily. You know, articulation itself, I'd say, is goddamn pretty close to revolutionary. I'm not revolutionary, but really in the right step for the Real Grade line. Comes with a ton of accessories. You can pose this guy and not even worry about the fin funnels falling off. They're super, okay, well, that's not good. That's not a good. If you shake it around too much in that way, they'll fall off. But aside from that, these things are really solid. You can pose this guy and the fin funnels won't fall off, which is fantastic. You can store all of his weapons on him, the beam rifle and the bazooka and the shield and the fin funnels and the beam sabers. And that is also just going over the plethora of accessories he comes with, you know. It's an absolutely fantastic piece that I love, of my favorite Gundam type mobile suit. So this one is a really good one. And if you haven't built it yet, I would definitely recommend not missing out on this one, because it's fantastic. At number 3, another Transformer and another Optimus Prime. Like I said, a ton of great Optimus Prime figures here. It is the Siege Leader Class Galaxy Upgrade Optimus Prime, or updated Transformers Cybertron Optimus. I love the Transformers Cybertron design for Optimus. I don't have a huge nostalgia for the show. I have nostalgia for it because I grew up on the Unicron trilogy. But Cybertron, I watch Armada more than the Cybertron. I still watch a decent amount of Cybertron, and this Optimus is fantastic. This is a nice upgrade, or not an upgrade per se, a nice update to the original figure while still having ups and downs compared to the original toy. But this is an awesome figure. It's a great usage of the Ultra Magnus mold that they used first in the Siege line, which is also a great figure. But I think this one is the cooler use of it. And I also like how they both share the same general mold, but there's a lot different going on with this figure that makes it feel different, while also feeling the same, if you get what I'm saying there. But I love it. It's got the big guns that come over from the backpack, which look mean and awesome. The figure itself just looks like he's gonna take on the whole Decepticon army himself, man. Like, he's armed to the teeth. I love the head sculpt. He's looking mean. I think it's better than the original figure. He just is looking mean and ready to beat the shit of all the Decepticons, man. That's just the vibe I get from this guy. He's just awesome, man. Articulation's really good for how bulky he is. Proportion great, paint's awesome. It's a fantastic and fun figure and toy. And number 2 is the last Transformer, I promise, and another Siege figure, because that line again is just so kick-ass. Is Siege Jetfire Commander class. And what can I say, man? This figure is really awesome. I don't own a ton of really big Transformers. My biggest one is the 25th anniversary Unicron, which is a great figure and really big and really cool. But I don't own very many big Transformers, so it's always cool when I can actually get some of the big ones. And this new Commander class is really cool, and this Jetfire is awesome. I don't think I own a Jetfire, which is kind of heresy in that regard, but this is a great one to own, I'd say. I love the blast effects. Comes with a bunch of accessories. I've got his armor on right now. He's got the guns. He's got the other guns on him, and the wrist guns, and the chest armor, and the mask. He's got good light piping, great articulation, looks fantastic. Obviously hefty and bulky because of his size. Transformation's fun. Nothing too special, but it's fun. Both modes look really great. Some nice play features. Yeah, there's not a whole lot else to say. It's just a really, really great figure. I really like it. He's my number 2. And at number 1 for 2019, we're ending with the Mezco, and it is the Mezco Blade. I got this for less than retail price, and it is, I think, one of Mezco's best figures they've done. It is so good. I don't even have a huge attachment to Blade. He's a cool character and all that, and I like him, but like the figure just makes me like the character way more. It's so good. The soft goods they used works really well with the shirt and then the leather style pants. The coat is definitely one of the main features and selling points of this figure. It looks really good and it has bendy wire to make it more posable, which is fantastic. Comes with 2 head sculpts. I've got the angry snarling one on, which looks fantastic and very dynamic. He's got the neutral one as well. You got obviously his sword. You get a couple guns and you get a couple blast effects, which is awesome. I think all Mezco figures that come with guns should come with blast effects. He's got a bunch of other vampire slaying tools. You got the little razor rangs that fold up and holster into his belt, and you've got a few silver stakes on his thigh there. Comes with extras of the stakes. A bunch of hands, which include some martial arts style hands, which is awesome. He's got a magnetically attached sheath for his sword there, which looks really good. Articulation is really good. It's just an absolutely awesome figure, man. I really like it a lot, and I'd say it's my favorite of 2019. Anyways, that's it. This video has gone on way too long, and I apologize for that, but there was a lot to talk about, a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about. I didn't do reviews on a ton of the figures. I think almost every figure. Not every figure, but a lot. Most of the figures I didn't do reviews on that I showed in the video, so I wanted to talk about them. So yeah, if you stuck around for this long, then thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it, because I definitely wouldn't blame you if you didn't stick around this long. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know what your guys' favorite figures of 2019 was. And 2020 is already looking off to be a really great year for figures. So again, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a great new year, and I will see you all in the next one.